For those of you who do not know BindTuning, we are a UX framework for SharePoint and Office 365. So basically, BindTuning has several building blocks, starting with themes for SharePoint, Webparts for SharePoint, and a set of tools. So if you think of SharePoint, the plain as it comes out of the box, themes will be kind of the first layer that we put on top of SharePoint. They will allow changing branding elements like top navigation, footer areas, text, colors, fonts. So that type of elements that allow you to actually brand a SharePoint website. On top of it, we can help you change how content looks and how you are able to display information and your data, your SharePoint data, in different ways and make it way more engaging for users. And we still have a set of tools, minor tools, that provide small elements of functionality that help even drive user adoption more. For those that were at Microsoft Inspire back in July, you probably know that Microsoft identified several vertical areas, and now sales will be driven towards those vertical areas. And they identified 6 priority areas that they will be addressing furthermore in the next future. We will be talking about how BindTuning products can be adjusted to 4 of these areas during this week. And today we will be focusing on government and public sector. And sorry guys. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what we are building for public sector specifically. In the past few months, we have been developing complete solutions, complete websites, including BindTuning products. So they include themes, they include the Webparts, they include the tools. And these are full-blown websites for particular vertical areas. So the example that we have today for you guys is the example of a city, but you can think of the elements that are in this page for different scenarios. We will be building way more templates for each vertical and make them available to you. And the goal of these templates is, with our provisioning, our new provisioning engine that Kevin will be talking about in a minute, is providing you a very, very quick and effective way to deploy this automatically into SharePoint and Office 365. So this is the first example. I will just quickly go through the pages. This is the landing page for a city, and you can see that we have multiple BindTuning pages being displayed. So starting with the slider displaying the latest news, the news web part here in the middle, also displaying eventually minor, not so important or not so highlighted news. We have a global calendar. On the right, we have our tiles web part displaying access to useful tools inside the city intranet. You can also have direct access to, for example, tools and resources using the quick links web part. We have the maps web part here below displaying, for example, departments and locations of different departments within the city. Here we have our tiles web part again displaying Twitter, and for example, like a city tour using our video web part. All of this is obviously fully responsive, ready for mobile, tablets, phones, so that comes out of the box with all of our products. We have created a couple of examples for department pages. So here I have human resources and safety and security departments. And we created a concept of department with some elements on them that are common from department to department. So we could have like the head of the department being displayed on the department landing page. We could have some numbers being shared internally to the team for that particular department. Some kind of mission and vision information that are specific here and here, displaying, for example, the slider web part. Here it's also the slider web part with a different configuration. And internally, we could also have like relevant documents being provided right on the landing page of the department, and some quick links to also some cool and useful tools that would be helpful internally. So the same concept goes to the safety and security department. Here we have kind of a few internal videos also being shared. This is the search people web part, which is our latest web part. We just launched it during this event, and it's an amazing web part for displaying people information. You can see that it's really easy to search. So it's easy also, for example, if I start writing and filtering people, I can combine with the letter by which people start. So it's an amazing way to list and search for people internally. And we have multiple different layouts for you to pick from, so that you can select how you want to display people information internally to your teams. And finally, just the latest page, kind of this interesting information about visiting the city with pretty much the same web parts, but configured in different ways. So as you can see, for example, we have the tiles here and the tiles here with a totally different purpose and a totally different way of being displayed. And pretty much all this entire website, it can now be completely provisioned and automatically provisioned by using our provisioning engine.
Find a theme that you really like. There's a couple here that we feature. You can also come up to products and you can select themes, and there's hundreds of different themes to choose from there. And the first thing that really works for you is to go to the live preview. In live preview is where you can configure. We have a really nice provisioning engine, a configuration engine here that allows us to go in and do fonts, colors, logos, layout. All the pieces for the theme are in HTML, coded solution, 100% complete, ready to go here. So this is very complete. You can download this, you can put it on your site, create a sandbox environment, trial it. You can trial it as long as you want. The get theme, once you click the get theme, it does lock the theme. When you deploy it, it creates a WSP. If you don't like it, just delete it, start all over again. Excuse me. And you can do that as many times as you want. You want to trial 5 different themes, just trial them. We don't really care. Different themes are really useful depending on what you're trying to accomplish there. I think our Ignite and our SPC themes are probably the most liked themes and probably the most robust from colors and things like that as far as how they look from a modern perspective. Everything we do is fully responsive. This will give you an idea on, excuse me, this will give you an idea of how the responsiveness works. So you can see how everything stacks really nicely and just out of the box, great functionality. And then you can flip back and forth between your tablet view and your desktop view. So that's the overall the theme view. All the pieces that you're looking for, all the tools, all the structure are inside the theme, and you can customize these. So the thing I like to point out is, yes, there is a carousel. Yes, there's a slider in here. It's in HTML though. So you do have to take a copy and paste the code into some sort of rich text editor web part, and that's how you do that. So the coded solution is there. We came out with web parts in end of 2015 into 2016, and they allow us to do something without code. So it's a no-code solution. So that same slider you saw there, you can see here too in a web part solution. You can customize this slider. You can make it entirely across the whole page. You can add the thumbnails, you can add the arrows, you can make it automatic, you can make it so it's manual. You can also come in and do different layouts. So that same slider is right here. So you can kind of see a little different view here. We have 4 pictures here. You get little thumbnail buttons down here, so how many groups of pictures you're looking at. And you still have the arrows over here. And once you click on an arrow too, it's really nice, is then it's automatic. So then it'll just be pervasive and it'll just kind of follow you. So kind of a little different solution here for being able to deploy the web parts in a drag and drop environment. You also can have it be so you can empower your end users who are spinning up team sites to go and customize their sites however they want. You know that the IT department's already approved this, so this is okay to kind of push out, let them do whatever they want. And it's, buyer beware kind of thing with when they're creating their own sites, but they can have fun with it. Tiles is probably our second most important web application or web part that we built. Lots of functionality here, RSS readers for all the different things, so Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and weather and any sort of feed that you want to push through the tiles you can do. We call them smart tiles, so they're highly configurable. You can configure them horizontal, vertical, square. You can add gutters to them. You can make them touch so you can have them very tight together. A lot of different functionality there. You can drive video to them. You can drive a document library to them. Power BI, it really depends on what you want to do there. So lots of functionality. There's 10 web parts that we do in a bundle, in a suite. And that's kind of, these are the first two that I just showed you are tiles, slider. We have a document web part. We have alerts, calendaring, video, maps. So it's a pretty comprehensive solution there. And then the one thing I do want to show is that we go to our news web part, lots of functionality here on how we do news. This news web part comes with 5 or 6 different views, so you can have that displayed in a number of different ways. It really drives a lot of functionality there. And then the last thing I want to show is really, from my perspective, is document web parts in calendaring. Pretty extensive use there for kind of how you can display information differently. And then also too, videos. And again, on the tiles you can have it be so videos are displayed as a tile or in a traditional format like you would have channels of different information. So pretty comprehensive solution.